tuned in to Maroon TV News.
Welcome to this week's Maroon TV News. I'm Ryan McNamara. Sad news this week as the college mourned the passing of a fourth-year student on Friday. According to the Maroon, Alexandra Frizzle, age 21, was found dead in an off-campus apartment by the Chicago Police Department. Frizzle, an Idaho native, was an honors economics major and a member of the sorority Alpha Omicron Pi. Dean of Students Susan Art has called Frizzle a talented young woman who left loads of friends and faculty who loved her. No official cause of death has been released. Frizzle is survived by her parents and 4 siblings. The first ever Sex Week at UChicago begins this Monday in Harper Library with a discussion on sexual health and behavior. Students, health experts, and members of the porn industry will be leading seminars all week on a range of topics, from sexual art to a variety of techniques. The university is the latest top-tier institution to host a week devoted to a discussion on sexuality. Yale has been hosting a Sex Week for over a decade, and Harvard started 2 years ago. For more information on how to get involved, visit their Facebook page at Sex Week at UChicago. Since the end of January, students at UChicago have found a new way to alleviate the stress caused by their deepest, darkest secrets. UChI Secrets is a Facebook page that allows students to submit a secret, which is then anonymously posted to the page for others to see. UChI Secrets claims to be a place where students can relieve their compulsion to confess in a safe and anonymous fashion. And now political reporter Sean Graff has a special interview with NBC political analyst Chuck Todd.
Joining me today is NBC News political director, chief White House correspondent, and host of the Daily Rundown on MSNBC, Chuck Todd. I don't know when you have a time to possibly sleep. It amazes me.
Well, by the advice I always give, I go to bed a lot earlier than people realize, and you basically, you don't partake in what most college kids partake in these days.
Okay, yeah, I see. So an important issue to students at University of Chicago is immigration reform, and I know that's been particularly working on right now in the Senate, but Harry Reid this past week announced basically that he wasn't really sure if anything was going to be brought together. What do you think are the prospects of this legislation or something getting passed?
I will be stunned if it's not. And the way big deals happen in Washington is when both sides, members of Congress don't do things for the greater good. They do things for their own personal gain. And the fact of the matter is the Republican Party needs it to happen and the Democratic Party needs it to happen. This is a case where the political needs align. And so this is going to happen. The question is it a signing ceremony on July 4th at the Statue of Liberty? Is it some grand, is it a little painful? Are there moments, will there be moments where you don't think it's going to get done? Sure. It's going to get done. I will be stunned. And if it's not, it shows you how broken Congress really is. This is the easiest issue that Washington is dealing with right now, with the most, where you see that a solution is in sight.
So then another important issue is clearly the agreement is not there, is on gun control yet. Right. And so the question is, we have the assault weapons ban and we have the universal background check. So there seems to be much more support for the universal background checks. But what do we think there's going to be any progress on assault weapons ban or no?
I would no. And in fact, I think there's some Democrats. You couldn't get a majority in the U.S. Senate today. There are 55 Democrats. You couldn't find 50 votes for an assault weapons ban. I think maybe you could get 45 votes for assault weapons ban. So I don't believe that the possibility of that, and that is there's bipartisan opposition to assault weapons ban. The universal background checks has a chance, but I'm skeptical that it can get through the House. I just think it depends on what it looks like. There's certainly been some plenty of Senate Republicans that have shown some openness to this. I think it has a chance, but I would say 50-50 at best that we'll see universal background checks. Okay. Maybe something that gets, but the only thing that's possible is on the background checks, mental health, things like that.
And now Maroon TV's Anina Christensen has a special RSO profile of Off Campus.
Marjorie, there's so much I want to say.
Last Friday, Off Campus performed in University Theater. Off Campus is the second oldest student improvisational theater troupe in the country. We talked to Hillary Clifford and Kevin Shang before the show about their RSO.
So Off was founded in 1985 by Bernie Salins, who also founded Second City, and it was founded in Jimmy's bar, the Woodlawn Tap, and it was founded in 1985 and it's been going strong for 27 years.
I'm in the 27th generation.
I'm in the 25th. People audition a year for 6 to 8 slots. First and second years are encouraged to audition, and the first round you get paired with somebody, like me and Kevin can audition together, and just do some short form improv, and then callbacks involve an improvised monologue and group work. Sure. Well, new members get trained in improv for the first quarter, and the second they learn long form improv and sketch. And typically a generation ends up doing one sketch review and one improv review, but it's up to them. You can do all improv or all sketch, but you're trained in both. Is that fair?
It's pretty heavy right now. Right now we're doing Monday through Thursdays from 7 to 10, and then Sundays 3-hour rehearsals. So it's a lot of doing the same thing, but it's rewarding.
Typically the first 2 years of this school you're going to be doing only off-off if you join. I mean, like we said, it's only 6 to 8 people a year, and it's 20 hours a week. But now I'm on UT committee, I'm in a sorority, I have more time now, but do you do anything else?
Well, recently it's just been off, but I also go to the University of Chicago in my spare time.
Yeah, sometimes forget about that. Yeah. For me, I guess in the week that you have a show, you have 21 hours of rehearsal. One of those hours is the show. So my favorite part is just those other 20 and the ridiculous work that goes on, and your generation sees you perform them, but no one else does. So it's kind of ridiculous how much work we do that no one else sees, but it kind of makes you really close with your fellow improvisers.
Like I said, I like the good days. But then I think joining this, there's definitely a big part of I like people to look at me and clap their hands. Is that the biggest part? No. But it's a pretty big part. But there's a lot of personal satisfaction that goes into creating something that you can say, I made this.
Family, so much heartache. You can make a difference. Unless you're like your father and leave everything to care.
This is Anina Christensen with Maroon TV News.
And come see Off Campus original sketch and improv comedy 4th through 8th week in U Church. It's not a thing.
And now Alex Soteropoulos with this week's sports headlines. Alex, last home weekend of basketball for the Maroons. Didn't go as planned, did it?
Well, you know, it was fun, but it didn't really go as planned. In women's basketball, the Maroons trying to turn around their season against Rochester. The men's team had a tough task going against the 4th-ranked Yellow Jackets. In sports briefs, the Chicago women's track and field team takes 3rd out of 18 teams in the Chicagoland Championships, while wrestling falls to Augustana 29-17.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Maroon TV News. I'm Ryan McNamara. Have a great week.
Maroon TV's Facebook page is the source for all of Maroon TV's latest happenings. Visit www.facebook.com/MaroonTV.